Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie a Conehead bunny bugger. The hook I have in a vise is a size 6 streamer hook. The cone I have on there is a gold medium size. I'm going to start with lead-free wire. I have 15 thousandths lead-free wire, and I want to put a few wraps on there. I'm just going to start around in the middle. And I'm going to put maybe 10 or 15. And we're going to break that excess off or fold it over. That one will be good. Yep, that back section doesn't want to come off. I'll just use my scissors. This is pretty soft stuff, but and we're going to push that all the way up forward in the cone. That's going to help keep the cone in place, and it's going to add just a little bit more weight. I mostly want it for helping to hold the cone in place. The thread I'm going to use, this is 6/0 uni thread in black. We're going to start the thread right behind those lead wraps, and that will prevent the lead from slipping. Put a couple of wraps on top of the lead itself. And then we're going to put a base of thread down to the rear of the hook. Hold that thread at a 45-degree angle and your wraps will fall into place. If you get an opening, just simply give it one of them and it'll push it into place. These hooks I'm using, these are new hooks, and these are green caddis outfitter hooks. And you can order them through the Hatches magazine. You can get them at hatches.com. Okay, we got the thread at the back, right where the barb would be had I not bent it down. We're going to start out with the tail. For the tail, I'm going to use a piece of zonker strip. I have an olive zonker strip here, and we want the hide to be the length of the hook shank. And on the end here I have, you can see that it's pretty thin there, and we want that. We're going to wrap that in. You don't want a real long piece of zonker. Then if you get short bites, they'll be hitting here, they won't get the hook in their mouth. And your zonker may be curved a little bit like this is. It's flat and then it curved a little bit. That's not a problem. Once it gets in the water, it'll straighten out. And we secure that in there pretty good. Now I'm going to take my hackle, and this is a hen saddle hackle. You can see the barbels are smaller towards the front, and they get thicker and softer in the back. We're going to tie that in by the front. I take the feather and stand those barbs up at the 90-degree away from the stem, and I gave that stem a little bit of the haircut. We're going to tie that on. And there's a little bit of stem exposed at the end there. We're going to get one wrap without having any of the hackles standing up. Now we're going to take a piece of chenille. I have olive chenille to match the tail, or pretty close to it. We're going to tie that in, and I exposed some of the thread there, so I'm going to tie the threads in and bring that back, and then quickly bring that thread back up front. Try to get that rabbit hair away from there. You can lick your fingers a little bit, and that will help control it. Put a little saliva on there. We're going to wrap the body, and we're going to wrap this tight, putting one next to the previous. And we're going to come right up to that cone. I even got some, basically that went inside that cone. And we'll tie that off with a couple of wraps. Cut the excess. And if you have a little bit of your chenille sticking out, go ahead and pull the chenille away from those threads, and then you can wrap it in. Now we're going to take the saddle hackle. I want to try to get them all on one side by holding it up and running your fingers up the hackle. And get that as well as you can. Get them all to one side. There we go. Not bad. Going to take a complete turn at the rear, and then we're going to palmer it forward. Pull those hackles to the one side once again. And we're going to get softer barbels at the top. And when we reach the cone, we're going to give it an extra wrap. I'm reaching the really fuzzy stuff, so I'm going to tie that off now. Couple of wraps right there, and we'll remove that excess. Take our whip finisher, give it 3 or 4 turn whip finish. Take a little bit of head cement, clean the brush off pretty well. I'm going to hold the hackles away and get a little bit in there. And that will hold it. And here we have a Conehead bunny bugger. Be great for smallmouths. It'll work great on the large trout. And I hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.